This is Dave, and welcome to the Workshop with Dave. And today we are going to be catching you up on some of the things we've been doing on the CB360 project. So let's catch you guys up on what's been going on here in the workshop. You may recall that I was rebuilding wheels just before the Christmas break. Well, now they're all completed. The tires are all mounted and everything's put back together again. So here's the front wheel assembly with the all newly painted and refinished components and the freshly polished chrome parts that actually make the brakes work. I've got the front axle laced through there just to hold everything together for the demonstration here. So this was the original 1.85 inch wide rear rim. Okay, the original 1.6 rusted out. So this part has been repainted and has all new stainless steel spokes laced into it. And got a nice set of Kenda tires on it. And this is the freshly rebuilt rear wheel. And what we got? A No Taco 2.15 inch wide rim on this as well. And those are looking pretty sharp, I think. They balanced out just right. Got a brand new off the shelf 34 tooth rear sprocket on this thing. And of course you can see that all of the old parts have been taken off, run through the brass wire wheel and cleaned up really nice. So I am super excited about how these turned out. Can't wait to get them on the road. In addition, I have learned the joys of polishing aluminum parts. I got myself a new 1 horsepower bench grinder. Got two different polishing wheels on it. One's for doing the initial cut and a softer wheel for doing the final cut. And so here are the completed parts, and I guess you can kind of get the mirror finish on this. There's the cover that goes over the stator and the magnet for the electrical system, and here is the shroud for that as well. There's the this little part of it. This covers the starter motor. Starter motor sprocket and the little chain that goes inside of it. But these cleaned up really nice, and I am very pleased with the results that I got off of this. And then of course here's the piece that goes immediately behind there that covers the drive sprocket. And this is the right side cover. Right here by my thumb is the oil dipstick. And of course this is the spot for the Kickstarter for this. Got a little more work to do right in here, but overall the right tool for the job is that 1 horsepower bench grinder with polishing wheels on it. You can really get some amazing results out of aluminum with that. So that's coming along. Also, look at this frame. What was an old cruddy frame that you've seen in all of the other videos that we've posted so far. This thing has been completely stripped, and you see I've got a few bolts just screwed into the various threaded parts. That's just for the painting purposes. Those dummies will come out of there as soon as we have this thing completely painted. So I've got the second coat of primer on it. The first coat of primer was this kind of darker primer here, which was a self-etching. I sanded the original paint off and then put self-etching primer on it. Sanded that off then with wet sandpaper. Then put a regular medium filler primer on it. First pass is a very light coat. As you can see, I've got some light coat marks on it and some spots that have been missed, but they'll get picked up on the next round And when I get 2 coats on it, then I'll sand that off as well. So right now we have the lower end of the motor sitting on a couple of 2x4s here, and it is in first gear. I just have the cylinder sitting on the pistons without any rings on them. Okay, so they are spinning freely inside of the cylinders, no tension whatsoever. And as I'm turning the motor by moving the clutch housing, it is turning in the appropriate way. And I am watching the output shaft turning because it's in first gear. I have a pair of channel locks attached to the shift shaft over here on the left-hand side of the motor. So I'm going to turn it just a little bit, and I'm going to shift it into second. And you can see that went into neutral. The output shaft's not turning at all, so I'm going to do it again. There, that's second, and third, and fourth, fifth, and sixth. And the output shaft continues to turn. That's good. So let's downshift. Fifth, fourth, third. That's third. Second. That's second. Barely bump it. Does it turn it off? Good. Went into neutral. Output shaft is freewheeling. And one more. First. Through all the gears, 1 through 6. Another thing I've built is out of some old 2x6s is a tank buck for sitting my gas tanks on. And here is the 360 tank. One of the really terrific features that are pieces of equipment that you can put on a 1 horsepower bench grinder that's very effective is Scotch-Brite pad wheels. They're about 2 inches wide or so, and really does a great job in taking old paint off after you've hit it with a when you've coated this with paint stripper and it's done its job. If you want to get it down to a nice pretty finish, this will just really make this nice and smooth. Great super finish, super fine on this part of it. Very excited about this because the next thing that happens after the frame gets painted and finished off is to move on to the tank and the front and rear fender. And that, my friends, is going to be all the painting that we do, because then all the parts will be painted and it'll be time to reassemble. So that's it for the Workshop with Dave today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like and share. Follow us on Facebook as well. I sure appreciate it.